Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam, sir.
What about others?
Hello, sir.
Good afternoon.
Salam, sir.
Salam. Dah makan semua?
Dah, sir, dah.
Dah, sir. Dah, sir. Sudah makan ke?
Saya dok itu.
Jangan tidur lah makan ni, Kang. Okay, to all the Muslim, we begin the class by reciting the Al-Fatihah and Salawat. Okay, we meet again this week with our class. So don't forget on Tuesday, we have a maritime talk on shipbuilding. Shipbuilding is the topic is good, right? Hopefully all must come lah. Hopefully all can come and must come lah. Because attendance is taken. And then the other thing is that the committee members must check when the leader give me the report, before send me the report, make sure all names are inside. If your name is not inside, I won't give you marks. That is your job to check, make sure your name is inside. Inside and you do your part lah. Jangan bubuh nama je kan So yang itu I serah kepada the leader to decide siapa buat kerja tak buat kerja lah. I don't know but I assume when the name is there, everybody contributes lah so it's important to contribute your part. Tak kira lah kecil besar kan. Because this project is big. Maybe you contribute a little bit also is contribution, right? Okay. So be careful and make sure all members of the group regarding the talk, make sure your name is there, right? Because I will give your mark based on the name in the report, not based on the attendance, not based on the list, but based on the name in the report. If your leader forget to put your name, 0 marks for you. And make sure I leave it to leader to put the name inside. It's up to the leader to decide. Okay. Any questions? Before we proceed with our class. So then I think you have 3 groups for talk ke 2 group? 3 group lah, tak salah saya. Okay. Hopefully the other 2 talk sessions, please ensure if possible lah. Tapi it's difficult lah because the time based on the speaker time kan. If possible, it's better to have the session during the class time, right? That one, if you can provide, you can follow that time is okay, right? It's good, but nevertheless, it's up to the speaker, right? So we invite them as part of your CSR. So I think we follow their time, lah. Tapi you must remind them about our class time, lah. Okay.
Sir, sorry for disturbing you. Sir, I just want to inform during the event on this Tuesday, I will involve with STML Career Talk, which I was assigned as the moderator for the Career Talk under STML.
Siapa nama awak ni?
Azri.
Azri.
Yes.
The Career Talk pukul apa?
Career Talk 10:30 hingga 1 under Motic, POM and Loctrans.
Yang sesi talk ni?
Yang ni 11:12.
11:12. Awak pukul 10:30
10:30 1, yes. Dengan STML punya program.
Tak apa lah kalau macam tu, spend attendance lah.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Because Tuesday, that's why is not advisable on Tuesday. Because Tuesday have many events, many activities happen, especially on the club activities, faculty activities on Tuesday. If this is our class activities, so that's why I reiterate that if possible, please advise the speaker to give their speaker their talk on the class day lah and class time, right? If possible lah. Kalau tak boleh juga tak apalah buat macam ni kan. Kalau tak boleh kemungkinan dia buat overlapping macam sekarang ni kan, overlapping banyak program. Program fakulti ada juga time tu kan. Program kelab ada juga, program kelas ada juga kan. So overlapping, but nevertheless the club activities different audience. The class activities mostly is our class audience lah. So that's why you all must come. It's not appropriate to invite speakers right to talk and there's not many people joining. So dia tak beri semangat kepada dia untuk bercakap lah. Doesn't motivate him to talk kalau not too many people join. That's why you all must join and until finish and prepare questions. That's important. Prepare questions because the leader must take note all the question given, asking all the question asked, and who asking. Take note all that. They might take numbers because that one is extra marks. So hopefully there's many questions to ask. All right. Okay, we go to our class today. It's about tanker. is about tanker shipping. All right, these are the picture of tankers. These are current tankers. This one is the first what tanker. This is one of the first tanker. Those days they have, but different as compared to ours, because those days they use sail. You look at the dulu mula-mula tanks ni, dia buat pakai sail. Sail ni macam layar lah. Dia tak ada enjin ni. Hanya bergantung pada layar kapal. Alright. Awak tahu dah macam mana kapal layar ni berfungsi? Dia tak ada enjin kan, tapi daripada Portugal sampai ke Melaka, sampai takluk Melaka kan. Daripada Netherlands sampai ke Malaysia, sampai ke Indonesia, sampai conquered Indonesia, conquered Malaysia, right? England, from England. Those days, the only transport they have is sail ships. So how on earth that they can sail a ship with an engine? By depending on the sail only, they can reach to Malaysia from UK. And even our people also traveling to China, like Hantua to China by sails, and China to Melaka by sail. Only by sail. Macam mana dia buat? Macam mana dia buat operasi? Kita tahu tak sail operasi? Apa dia punya most important concept of sailing ni? Apa tahu? This is maritime, this is the history of maritime. What is the concept of sailing? Who knows?
So maybe not. I'm not sure, but maybe with the wind force.
Yeah, wind force. So how they utilize the wind force? How? Just imagine the wind. We cannot control the wind force, right? The wind flow. You cannot control the wind flow. The wind can flow anytime, anywhere they like. They can flow from the east, the north, the south, the west, wherever direction the wind can flow freely. Nobody control it. Only God control. But how come they can travel from Europe to Malaysia 300 to 400 years ago, 500 years ago, 600 years ago? So it's crazy. Sometimes if you think about it, it's crazy how they move from England, and how they guide the movement through the sea. There's no what compass those days, but they travel a long way. How they move it, how they move, how they navigate. Right? Kadang-kadang fikir, if you think, it's crazy. They can navigate from Europe to the Asian, from China to from China to Europe. Those days, you can't imagine how, right? But they manage. So how excellent they are, right? How superior they are than us. Macam like you all okay lah. Nowadays you have engine, right? You can control the engine, right? You can control, you can navigate easily. I don't care whether the wind is the left or right or north or south. You don't care. You just have an engine to move it, to navigate it, and you have compass, you have GPS. But those days, no compass, no GPS, no engine, just sail. But they managed to come way distant from Europe to Malaysia. You kalau naik kereta terbang dari KL to London for 13 hours flight. Kalau you tengok peta tu bunyi jalan jauh kan. Tapi those days they can maneuver and navigate the ships, their boats from England to Malaysia. Sampai boleh pegang pula dengan kita, boleh tawan can conquer our countries. Just imagine. So how? What is the concept they're using? You say, yes, definitely. If you say you use sail, is wind flow. You utilize the wind flow, but how you utilize the wind flow? How do you utilize the wind flow to follow your routes or your navigation? To follow your routes or your navigation plan. Macam mana? Kan? Kalau dia nak naik kapal, tiba-tiba kalau kapal angin dari selatan, dia nak ke utara, senang lah. Kan? Tapi kalau angin dari tepi, dari timur, nak ke utara macam mana? Who knows? Siapa tahu? The concept. Anybody knows? Badriatul? Ada Badriatul? Badriatul dah keluar bilik dah. Badriatul ada sini ke? Awak tidur ke keluar bilik ni? Tak join dah. Join saja tapi tak in the class Chow Yu Yao. Chow Yu Yao?
Yes, sir.
Do you know?
I'm not sure.
You're from China, right?
Yes.
You can imagine your own ancestors way 100 years ago, few hundred years ago, maneuver to get the sea. How clever they are, right? They can build big ships, but no engine. Crazy, Big ship but no engine, just the sail. The concept is easy. You cannot change the wind flow, wind direction. You cannot change the wind direction. Direction is controlled by God, but you can adjust your sail. In order for you to go according to your way. Faham tak? Nampak? You cannot control the wind flow, the wind direction. The wind is there. It can be now south, west, north, everywhere it can be, the wind flow. You cannot control them. But what you can do, you can adjust your sail accordingly so that you move ahead. Understand? No matter where the wind from, you adjust your sail and you keep on moving ahead, moving to your destination. That is the keyword, the concept. Adjusting the sail, right? Controlling the sail. The sail is important. The bigger the ships, that's why when you see the bigger the ships, the bigger the sail and the more the sail will be. If you observe here, right? Usually a tanker is heavy, right? So how many sails there? So the bigger the ship, the more the sail and the bigger the sail will be, so that the ship can move to the direction that you want. The wind flows can be anywhere. What matters is how you adjust the sail. Okay, macam juga life lah kan, macam life lah. Your life, your fate is different. Your fate is already destined. Destined maksudnya your destiny already been there as your fate, right? But you must move ahead. Whatever your fate is, either is bad or good for you, you think right, but you must move ahead. You must move on. And how to move on? You must adjust yourself. Adjust according to the fate. Understand? That is the logic concept of life. On a ship, it's the same. Like a ship that have no engine that you sail. How the ship must go on moving. No matter what flow the wind is to adjust the sail. And then the ship will move on to the destination. Same like your life, whatever your fate is, you must adjust yourself. Like a ship, like a sail adjust the flow, right? You adjust yourself so that you keep move on and achieve your goal, your destination, your goal. And that is life and sail. So it's very interesting concept, right? And that concept makes the world closer to each other, right? Makes people achieve their goals to be somewhere else in the other part of the world. 700 years ago dah berlaku kan. Even 1000 BC, people has used this navigation of the sea to move cargo, to move people from Athens to Egypt, Egypt. You know why? Because that time they found out silver cookware or silver materials in Egypt in 1000 BC. By right in Egypt, there's no silver. So where does the silver come from? And they do the investigation, historical explorations and investigation. They found out the silver comes from Athens or Greece or Athens or Greece, Greece. So quite far from Egypt. But those times it's 1000 BCs. So just imagine how they move the cargo. It's by sea, definitely by maritime. Right? Logically, it's by maritime. Right? So they have done it before. So you are lucky living or born in this era. You are modern technologies. No need to dependent on airflow. No need dependent on sail, but you have engines. But the worst part is engines create emissions, create pollution. What you get is now is uncontrollable, unpredictable weather changes. Weather changes. Weather changes is due to pollutions because of the depletion of the ozone layers and the world getting hotter and hotter, warmer and warmer. And this affect the melting of the iceberg in the North Pole and South Pole. And this iceberg is big as a country. Yeah? It's like a continent full of iceberg melting. You just imagine the effect to the water level of the sea water level in the world. That's why they predict in next 10 years time, most countries, most cities in the cities that along the coastal of the sea will submerge, right? Will submerge on a few meters or few feet. As for example, like Jakarta is submerging now because of the water level getting higher and higher, and because of Jakarta's dia punya sewer system is not so good, right? That's why the government of Jakarta, the Indonesian government, shift the capital to Borneo Island. Apa nama tempat tu tak tahu kan. Siapa orang Indonesia ni? Siapa tahu? Bandar apa nama? You tahu tak? Indonesian student, siapa Indonesian student ni kan? Indonesian student, what is the town name and the new capital name for Indonesia now? They're changing to Borneo Island, right? So what is the name of the capital they propose? You know not? Siapa from Indonesia ni? Ada siapa from Indonesia tadi? Siapa from Indonesia? Indonesian student? Ada?
Yes, sir.
You know what is the name? East Kalimantan, the Borneo kan? Kalimantan Oh, bukan Borneo.
Yes, sir. In Borneo.
Borneo Kalimantan?
Kenapa, sir?
Kalimantan Borneo sama ke? Lain tak?
Saya rasa sama, sir. Borneo, saya rasa.
Sama
Nama, nama ibu kotanya Penajam, sir.
Penajam kan ada ni Jokowi change to the Jakarta the capital to Penajam
Yes, sir.
Penajam. So because of Jakarta is sinking, even Singapore is sinking because the water level is getting higher and higher by days. You can see in the videos YouTube melting of the ice, right? In Singapore, this is the effect of emission and pollution, especially from maritime, because maritime punya pollution is even greater as compared to other modes of transport, because the bunker they use, the oil they use, the fuel they use for maritime is much more dangerous, much more toxic, much more damaging the environment as compared to other emission. Because of the bunker they use is quite thick. As compared to like petrol or diesel or aircraft punya fuel. So that's the reason. That's why IMO is stressing on IMO 2020, right? But there's many technologies that we are lucky because we're living in innovative and technological based world. So there's many technologies that will cut the emissions. Either we want to adopt it, or or the one is up to the decision making by the company, by us, right? So according to the authorities, they need you to use biodiesel, right? Biopetrol, all biodegradable one. they won't deplete the environment, the ozone. But if the world need a very constant effort, concentration effort by all to adopt sustainability. If not, there's no use, right? You can imagine in Bombay, in India, all haze not because of burning forest, haze because of themselves. They produce many emissions, a lot of emissions using their cars, motorcycle, everything. Sampai haze in the city, right? Because of their own fault. Just imagine if the wind carry away the haze, it's fine, but it's not fine actually because the wind carries away the haze to some other places, right? And then at the end, the haze will go up and deplete the ozone, and get it warmer and warmer. And when it's warmer, when the weather, when the ice deplete, you will make the water level high, and also when the water is increased content in the sea, the evaporations of water to the air, right, and stick in and stuck in the cloud, and the cloud getting heavier and heavier of water, and they will produce heavy rains, unprecedented rains fall. Hujan yang turun tak sangka-sangka, lebat yang tak pernah berlaku kan. Lebat sangat kan. Sampai dalam masa sejam punya hujan sama dengan setahun punya measurement kan. Itu tak logik kan, tapi it's happening now. That's why you can see rivers going up, flooding like no other before. Flooding kan, because of this, because of the torrential rains, and downfall that never happened before. Downpour of rains, that the amount of water coming down. So these are the effect of. That's why it's important to be sustainable. That's why subject of sustainability is everywhere in the syllabus, whatever the syllabus is. Right? All right. A tanker or tank ship. It can be tank ship or tank ship. It can be close or it can be far. As a matter, it's a ship designed to transport or store liquid or gases in bulk. So a tanker is or liquefied product, liquefied cargo, and it can be gas or if gas also they pressurize the gas to turn to a liquid. That's why they call it LNG, liquid natural gas. To mobilize the cargo, they need to liquefy it. They need to pressurize it so that it can turn to liquid. Then when they use it, they will release the gas, and that's why they call it LNG, right? Liquid natural gas. Kalau dah liquid, apa gas pula kan? Nampak? Why the term liquid and gas come together? A gas is like emission, right? It's gas is like vapor, but a liquid is a liquid, right? It's like water. It's liquid, free flow. But how come a gas, a liquid, to be a gas? Initially, the process, they process the liquid, or initially the gas they process it to turn to a liquid. Then they can mobilize it. If not, how you can mobilize a gas, right? Cannot, right? It's a gas, it's a vapor. So you must liquefy it, right? So they have a technology to pressurize the gas to turn it into liquid. It's a tanker, it's about liquid, carrying or mobilizing liquid. Type of tank ship include the oil tanker, the chemical tanker, and gas carrier. Tanker also carry commodities such as vegetable oils, molasses, and one. This all the anything that is liquefied, you need to carry by using tanker, right? It's difficult. You use other type of mobilities, or you put in kettle, you put in you cannot move liquefied product by using other method other than tanker, as actually pipeline. Other than that, is you use pipeline. If no, you don't use tanker, you use pipeline. That's all. There's no other ways. And then a tanker also used to refuel other ships. This is a bunker tanker. Bunker tanker. This ataupun replenish tanker. They used to fuel the other ships. They use the fuel ships atau the replenish tanker to bunker other ships. That's so that is also the purpose of a tanker. Right? Tanker were first developed in the late 19th century as iron and steel hulls and pumping system were developed. Those days, ship like the ships, like the ships, they call it a tanker, but they don't apply the same concept of mobility of liquid as compared to the ships, right? Those days, there's no iron ships, There's no iron ship, all made by wood mostly those days. And how they mobilize or liquid, they put in barrels. No, they put in barrels. No barrel. They put dalam barrel bahasa Melayu apa? Tong-tong lah, tong lah. Tong-tong besi they put in tong-tong besi barrel. Tong kan, tong besi yang isi minyak tu kan, yang ada Repsol tu kan. There's barrel lah. Tong panggil apa? Tong bahasa Melayu dia panggil tong lah tong besi kan. Tong besi lah. That is barrel cylinder box or cylinder that been made by iron by using iron and metal, right? Those days they put the oil or whatever liquid in that barrel, and then they put in the ship and they mobilize it. Those days, because those days most ships been built by using wood. But when, like mentioned here, when the ships been built, when iron been used and still be used to build the ships, to build the house, and also when they develop pumping system, because to move the liquid from port to the ship, you need pipeline pump to pump it to your ships and pump it from your ships or suck it from your ships. So without that inventions, with iron and steel hull of the ships, and without the development of pump, those days mobility of liquid products is by using barrels. Okay. Now they use tanker like this because of the pumping system, and then all made by steel and iron. So then only you can move in tankers. Kalau tidak, those days tankers pakai barrel. Pakai kayu, because those days pakai kayu. Kayu tak boleh. Simpan air dalam kayu kan. Dia akan pocor ke ataupun leakage akan reput kayu kan. That's the reason Once they build a ship using iron and metal, then they start using tanker. They introduce tanker and also when they have invented the pumping system, they can pump the oil, the liquid in and out. Okay. Out of the total merchant ships in the world, 33% or 30% above are tankers. 30 to 33% are tankers. So it's quite a lot. Because tankers usually you carry your raw material, ONG or ONG products or gases, right? And chemicals, palm oil. We are the major exporter of palm oil once, right? Palm oil been exported by using tankers, right? Even other vegetable oils like corn oil, like America, like the South American exporting, they use tankers. And tankers also consist of the largest ships in the world. Largest and longest ships in the world are tankers, right? The largest and longest ships in the world are tankers. And the longest and the biggest tanker in the world, even higher than Petronas KLCC. Faham tak? Punya panjang. In late 1861, Elizabeth Watts sailed a vessel carrying 220 tons of petroleum to England. This vessel is still wooden, right? But they carry petroleum through barrels by using barrels and put in the ship. to England. But these are the first vessel lah, kira tanker lah, that carry petroleum, right, in barrels using ships. It was the first cargo carrying liquefied material. The tanker industry was set up about 1886. Then they start having an industry, tankers industry. Meaning what? Meaning that they keep on improving the industry from carrying petroleum through barrels. They change it to building metal ships that can be the tanker itself, can tank, can keep the liquefied in the ships, not using barrel anymore. So they have developed specialized vessels to transport oil across the world until today. And you just imagine without the tankers, some countries that we have no sources of ONG, petroleum, they cannot survive because nowadays you all need energy to run energy machines. Right? Energy needed to run energy machines. You need petrol to run engines. Engines produce energy, electric energy. Right? That's why some power plant, even in Malaysia, they still use diesel as a source of energy to produce electricity. So diesel also produce emission, right? When you use combustion engine, you use fossil oil to run your engines to produce electricity. Definitely, they will give out emissions, pollutants. And that's why, in order to have a green energy, electricity is a green energy, right? But to produce electricity, some countries polluted the world first. Then they produce energy, green energy. That one shouldn't be encouraged. But there's sometimes the countries have no other ways, right? To build a nuclear reactor is expensive, so they rely on cells, right? Or coal. Coal even worse because coal even give more emissions when they produce coal. They use coal to produce energy, right? This is the first tanker. This is the first tanker. The pure tanker, metal ships. 2,700 ton of Glokov of Britain. The name of ship Glokov was the world first true oil tanker, which had separate tanks for the oil built into its hull. So they built the tank into its hull. The hull itself consists of tanks. Hull ni maksudnya badan kapal lah. Jangan terkejut, hull tu, ship tu kapal. Hull ni badan kapal. Faham tak? Betul you dengar, University of Hull. Meaning that area is established based on maritime industries lah. Maritime, marine industries. That's why they call it Hull University, the Hull. Right. Hull ni badan kapal lah. Okay. You go to Hull, you can see dia punya port, ada port Hullnya. And then di situ ada satu ferry service, commuting ferry, tapi pakai hovercraft. Tengok hovercraft. Hovercraft is floating, floating ship lah, atau floating boat from London, Hull to Amsterdam. Very nice. If you can continue the study, your masters there is good for you to enjoy the technology they have. All right, it's what the first ship to have oil compartments in which oil can be directly pumped into the compartment, into the tanks lah, compartment in tanks lah, in the ship's hull. Whereas earlier oil had been shipped, ni saya katakan, in drums or barrels. Drums or barrels, drum tong bulat tu kan, tu besi bulat tu, barrels. Sama. So the tanker now, you see the tanker now based on the Glukov tanker, the first tanker in the world that been built. So mostly the tanker today is based on that design. So this is the picture of Glukov. Nampak picture tu macam kapal yang ada masalah. Memanglah. Kulukov was on a charter voyage for the Standard Oil Company. Charter dulu pun dah ada charter service tram and liner. But usually carrying bulk cargo, usually like I've told you before, it will based on charter. And there are 3 types of charter, right? Ingat tak apa dia? Voyage charter, right? Time charter and bareboat charter or demise charter, right? When he ran aground across from Seville, New York at Blue Point, fish on Fire Island, non-Long Island. Ran aground ni maksudnya dia macam sangkut lah sangkut ni. Ni macam ni kan. Besar kapal banding orang kecil kan. Right. New York Times article said that it ran aground just before dawn on March 24, 1989. You tahu masa dawn tak? You know what it mean by dawn? Tahu tak? Tahu. Dawn, what is the mean by dawn? Who knows? Hey, you semua tidur ni? No respond ni? Sleeping Abid, where is Abid?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
What is dawn, Abid?
Fajr, sir, mean before the sunrise.
Dawn versus what?
Dawn versus dawn.
Huh? Dawn versus?
Dawn.
Dark.
Dawn, sir.
What the spelling?
I forgot the spelling, sir. I'm sorry.
How you spell it? Dawn. Dawn.
GAWN.
No, dawn versus what?
Dawn versus... I think so. I like the sunset.
Sunset dipanggil apa? What do you call sunset?
From dawn to dusk, I think.
Dusk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You know dusk? Dusk. Dawn versus dusk. Right? So, dawning in the morning, early in the morning, before the sunrise. Right? Okay. So, the ship's been aground. Dawn time. So, that is the ship that, the first ship that depicts our current tanker ships. They have compartment in the ships for tanks. Compartment tanks for oil. Okay. Until now, you understand what is tanker? Any question? Any question? Right? You understand? So these are the tanker cross section. A tanker cross section. So this is tanker. The whole thing is a tanker. The hull is here. Hull is here. You can see my cursor or not? Can you see my cursor or not?
Yes.
So this is a compartment or tanks for the oil. Right? Previously, the ship is just the oil is put in barrel, right? In drums, and the drum been arranged in the ships, the hull of the ships. But now no more because of the metal ships being built. So they built tankers in the ships, and tankers